right, everybody, welcome back. I'm so excited about this deep dive.
Me too.
Yeah. This one's going to be good. I think it's going to be really valuable for people. We're going to be talking about insights discovery
Yes.
and how you can use insights discovery color energies to connect better with people. And I think most people listening probably already have a basic understanding of the color energies.
Yes.
So we're not going to go into like, this is what red energy is. We're assuming people already kind of get that.
Right.
But we want to talk about like
the next level.
Yeah, the next level. How do you actually use this in your daily life to improve your communication with people?
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, I think we can both agree that one of the most valuable things about insights discovery is that it helps you adapt your communication style
Yes.
to better connect with the person that you're talking to.
Absolutely. Understanding how someone prefers to communicate, whether they're driven by facts and logic or emotions and relationships, like that's key to minimizing misunderstandings and maximizing, collaboration and like trust.
Yeah, and I think the cool thing about it is it kind of turns you into like a communication superhero
Totally.
where you can kind of read people and be like, okay, I get how you tick, so now I can adjust how I talk to you to make sure we're actually communicating instead of just talking past each other.
Yeah,
Right?
I love that. A communication superhero.
Right. I mean, who doesn't want that, right? Okay, so let's dive into some specifics.
Okay.
Let's say you're dealing with a fiery red. And, this could be in a work setting, it could be personal, whatever.
Yeah.
But you're dealing with someone with like strong fiery red energy. What are some things to keep in mind when you're communicating with them?
Yeah, well, fiery reds are all about action.
Right.
They are decisive, they're driven, and they value efficiency. So when you're talking to them, you really want to get straight to the point. Don't beat around the bush.
Right.
Be clear, be concise, focus on outcomes. It's kind of like, imagine you're pitching a business idea.
Yeah.
Right? You wouldn't walk into a room and start rambling about like all the tiny little details. You would hit them with the big picture, the value proposition, this is how it's going to make you money.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's going to resonate with a fiery red. They want to see the results, the impact.
So it's less about the how
Mhm.
and more about the what.
Exactly.
Okay, that's really interesting. So now let's flip the script. Let's say you're talking to a sunshine yellow,
Okay.
right? And full disclosure, sunshine yellow is my dominant energy. So
I had a feel.
yeah, so I'm very familiar with this. But what's the approach there? Because it's got to be totally different.
It is very different. Sunshine yellows are all about connection and enthusiasm. They thrive on positive energy. They love to brainstorm.
Yep.
For them, it's all about the journey, the collaboration, the big, exciting ideas. So when you're connecting with a sunshine yellow, you want to bring that energy. Be warm, be expressive, focus on the big picture.
Yeah.
Share your vision. Let them see how this is going to benefit everyone.
Okay, so don't hit them with like a detailed spreadsheet.
No. Maybe save the spreadsheet for later.
Yeah, that would be a disaster. Like,
Yeah.
oh, here are all the numbers.
Yeah, like bullet points, keep it light,
Yeah.
highlight the fun stuff.
Okay, this is so good. So we've got fiery red, action-oriented, get to the point.
Yes.
Sunshine yellow, bring the energy, big picture.
Mm.
All right, let's move on to earth green. What about communicating with those folks? What are the key things to keep in mind?
Yeah, so earth greens are all about harmony and stability. They're fantastic listeners. They're empathetic.
Yeah.
They're very good at creating a sense of calm and security. So, when you're talking to an earth green, really take the time to listen to them, make sure they feel heard and understood, build rapport, show them that you value their input, and be patient.
Yeah.
Because they might need a little bit more time to process information and make decisions. Don't rush them. Give them the space they need to feel comfortable.
Okay, so this is all about creating that safe space, right?
Exactly.
Where they feel comfortable opening up and sharing and knowing that they're not going to be judged.
Exactly.
Okay, that's great. And I think that's actually really relevant, not just in like a professional setting, but also in personal relationships, right?
Completely.
Like if you have a friend or a family member who's very earth green, like that approach of really listening, being patient, creating that safe space, that can go a long way in building trust and rapport.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, last but not least, we have cool blue.
Cool blue.
Right. And I feel like this is the one that a lot of people struggle with because
They can be a little bit mysterious.
they're very analytical, right?
Yes.
Very data-driven, very logical. So how do you break through that and connect with them on a deeper level.
Yeah, well, for Cool Blues, it's all about the facts. They want to see the evidence, the logic, the data before they buy into anything. So when you're communicating with a Cool Blue, be prepared to back up your claim, Do your research, come with the stats, present a clear, well-reasoned argument. It's kind of like, imagine you're a detective solving a case.
Ooh, I like that.
Right. You need to gather all the evidence, connect the dots, and present a compelling case.
Yeah.
That's what's going to resonate with a Cool Blue. They need to see that you've thought things through.
Okay, so it's like, you can just be like, hey, I have this gut feeling.
Exactly.
Right. Or I think this is a good idea. It's like,
Yeah.
no. Here's the data. Here's the research.
Show me the data.
Here's why this makes sense logically.
Mhm.
Okay. That's really helpful. So, I mean, we've talked about how to connect with each of the 4 color energies.
We have.
But I think what's really important to emphasize is that this is about adapting, not changing.
Yes, 100%.
Right. Like, we're not saying you need to become a different person depending on who you're talking to.
No.
It's about, like you said, having those communication tools
Yeah.
and knowing which tool to pull out of your toolbox,
Exactly. Yeah.
depending on the situation.
It's about, like, flexing your style, meeting people where they are
Yeah.
without losing yourself in the process.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that applies, whether you're trying to improve your teamwork at work or have better relationships with your family or just, be a more effective communicator in general.
Totally.
And speaking of effective communication, for those of you who want to take this even further, maybe dive deeper into insights discovery, be sure to check out our YouTube channel, Colorful Connections. We've got tons of videos, more insights, tips, all sorts of good stuff.
All about color energy.
All about color energies.
Yes.
Yeah. So definitely check that out. All right. So before we wrap up, I want to leave you with something to think about.
Okay, I like it.
And this is for everyone listening. Think about a recent interaction that you had, maybe at work, maybe in your personal life, where you just felt like you weren't connecting with the other person, like you felt misunderstood,
Yeah.
or like you were talking past each other.
Totally.
Now, knowing what you know about color energies, do you think understanding those energies could have changed that interaction?
That's such a good question.
Could you have approached it differently if you understood where that person was coming from? And how might you approach similar situations in the future using this knowledge? It's all about that continuous improvement. All right, that's it for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us,
Thanks, everyone.
and happy connecting.
Yes.